this on Mirage. SK Fnatic. Can SK make history today with their first best-of-3 victory over Fnatic, or will Fnatic win on home soil? Their first trophy in seemingly forever for a team of this stature and this caliber. We're about to find out, Dust. It all came down to this.
Yeah, indeed it has. It's great to see that it's going to take a map 3 to determine things, and of course it's going to come on what is familiar territory for both of these teams. Mirage historically always been great for the Brazilian core. It fell off a bit, but it's been back up at the top ever since Phelps came on board. Right now in Mirage, they are 10-2 offline, other than kind of a bit of a shocker of a loss to CLG in the semifinals. They have been almost untouchable on this map, which is great news for them. You look over at the Fnatic side, I feel like it's the map they actually kind of didn't maintain as much as the rest of their map pool once Pronax departed back in the day, but still certainly they play it well online in Europe, and offline it's a decent balance. So we will see if they can go toe-to-toe with SK here and now.
Still waiting for these players that have been through so much. Of course, Fnatic earlier in the tournament, that insane overtime game that we had the pleasure of casting together over on Train, Dust, which saw them lose to CLG. I think it went about 60 rounds or so in the end. SK, of course, have battled through some disappointments, losing to their Brazilian brothers of Immortals on Cash earlier, but they bounced back with a vengeance to get through to the finals, and maybe just one map off securing themselves as champions of DreamHack Summer 2017. But there are some pretty solid Swedish players standing in their way,
who really want to hoist a trophy again. It's been so long, and what a better way to do it than on home turf. But we will find that out here and now. It's Mirage, it's map 3, it's the grand finals, it's SK versus Fnatic.
Tech-9s in the hands of Fnatic are both Olof and Dennis, both of them with Kevlar. So we actually have not just one raid boss, but 2. SK will be looking to tank them simultaneously. No kits, no nades, raw Kevlar, and a Tech-9 is ripping through heads, and it's Dennis with 3, barreling up connector, kicking ass and taking names. Taco is going to make his name not quite appear in that gravestone just yet, but Olof Meister will reap him, and this round looks like it's all but done. Dennis with a 4K. That's one hell of a way to kick off the 3rd map in a grand finals, Dennis.
Indeed it is. He's been so good this tournament. He has to be like an MVP candidate if Fnatic goes on to win this tournament. Absolute phenomenal stuff out of him. He kind of rose up as a star player of Fnatic when guys like Olaf were having their injury issues and such, and he's always been fantastic in pistol round situations, and that was certainly no exception. As Fnatic will have that 1-0 lead, as you mentioned. They will go ahead and buy up, of course. SK getting those pistols out. Fnatic putting a lot of focus here on middle. 4 players. In fact, the 1-4 split. Cole with the deagle, though. He's dangerous. He's peeking this angle right now. He will find the 1 dig. He finds the bomb dropped on the floor, and he continues to deliver. There's a second one, and is SK gonna get us that scrappy start? So far, so good.
Bomb out in a difficult position to make matters worse, as Dennis is getting things down to 11. Coldzera still alive. Still very much a presence. It's all on Flusher. He has a UMP, but he's run out of bullets, and he wants to get the fast peek to see if he can take some players down as they try and transition across. 1 minute to play with, under no huge rush. And he will put down Taco, but he himself falls. So Coldzera, who starts the round with 2 solid deagle shots, will secure it, and Fnatic are off to a horrible start once again.
Cole's probably one of the best players in the world on playing this particular spot, off the catwalk as a B rotator, or in the ladder room, or just in your face in middle. And he does it with a deagle that time, so it's going to be 1-1. The force buy right back up from Fnatic, so it's an economic game of chicken going on. Who's going to finally win 2 in a row? Who's finally going to force their opponent to concede and take a save so they can get the early advantage for themselves? Maybe this round will tell Olaf SK can take care of business as Fur will get aggressive up middle, takes down JW. Olaf looking to try to come underpass and trade.
Fur able to collect 1 kill alongside Coldzera, who did chime in for the assist on Olof Meister too. Dennis going to try and return the favor with a deagle of his own. There's 1. 4 more fearsome Brazilians stacked against him. And Phelps will get the upper hand. And with only losing one player, this is almost guaranteed to be an eco by Fnatic.
You'd imagine so. I mean, the 2 rounds in a row go to SK, so the scrappy beginnings will come to a close pretty early, thanks to that effort from SK. And so we'll see Fnatic rocking out with Glocks out. That's what they're going to be doing this round. Shouldn't really see too much. Just waterfalling somewhere, I'm sure, to try to get a bomb down. Usually on rounds like this, it'd be like a waterfall palace or be a Barbus, but they're actually looking to go middle. And Fert, he's going to go... It's Fnatic season, and he's looking to hunt.
Hunt he shall. Phelps, though, from the back of the side, is going to be able to secure the kills. And just the 1 kill comes back. But honestly, in a full Glock round, a kill, it's not a bad outcome. I mean, you're not expecting to get a great deal out of this. It's a throwaway round in every sense of the term. Full AKs will follow the Glock.
Yeah, some cliff notes for Fnatic T side. I mean, we noticed they like to play default a lot nowadays, but this is one of the maps they still like to do a lot of faster pace executes. And the A side, they have a lot of different smoke setups. Another key difference you'll notice on Fnatic these days, Olaf used to be so well known for mid control and playing that ladder room. That was his trademark spot on T, to really manipulate rotates out of mid. This time, he lurks outside the A bomb side a lot now. And Flusha a little bit more actively engaged towards mid. So just a little bit of a change for you. As Fallen, though, finds first blood on JW peeking.
And the 2 of Crims and Flusher were too late out of underpass to get the avenging kill. So Fallen gets out relatively unscathed, just 12 health. Falls off him. Fur in window, accompanied by coldzera, who's in ladder. That nade actually somehow misses out again. Just the S-nade thinks. coldzera does do a bit of chip to Crims. But although mid-control is falling the way of Fnatic, they only have a HE to play off now, and they've lost Crims. This is looking excellent on the side of SK Gaming.
Yeah, you could see the attempt at boosting window, but they got run through the blender. coldzera up inside ladder room. They had another player window as well. So they make no forward progress. Now they'll try to go catwalk, but there's no smoke to stop Fur as he's inside. He's on the other side of that stair smoke. He's going to stick around for a bit more damage. Cold finishing off the frag, and now it's all on Olaf in a 1-on-4 with really no time, and that bomb way out of his hands.
Yeah, that was always going to be the issue once they planted down their limited utility and they got killed. I think it was Crims that died in window. I mean, that was pretty much the round coming to a close. And again, SK come out of it with only the 1 death. This is building up their economy nicely. We've got 11k on Phelps, 8k coldzera, 6,000 on Fallen, who of course also has an AWP. They are very healthy at this stage.
Yeah, they'll be able to farm some extra cash with Taco's UMP. They have the AWP in Fallen's hands. They easily could have the option of getting coldzera the second one if they so choose later on, as it's definitely one of the most powerful double op setups in the world on Mirage is Cold and Fallen, but they don't need it yet. Meanwhile, force buy for Fnatic again, looking for fast mid control.
That nade was brutal to watch, destroying Dennis, JW and Crims, but Crims is able to bounce back with a Tech 9 kill, and coldzera not quite able to gobble up the frag. I think it was Flusher when he was shooting at, who just jumped into window, who will come back with an M4 frag. Okay, that's making this round pretty interesting. Taco dispatches of Crims. Flusher in no place to avenge. Bomb transitioning through the T spawn side. That's one duel they really needed, and Fallen will hold firm on the CT boxes of A. He is by himself though, so he's playing this one very passively for the time being. And Flusher does have a smoke. He's going to be smoking on the connector side, trying to draw out a player into window. Of course, we have the benefit of knowing that's not going to happen. So now Flusher's going to push through that himself.
Yeah, also that smoke makes players think that Cat's a threat, and that's what holds Taco in place. He still has to worry about B. Seeing passive positions from SK, they're willing to give up the bomb plant if need be and just play the numbers advantage. They have kits on everyone. They have some flashes to work with. They have superior firepower. As Flusher will continue to creep in. That bomb slowly working up, but it's low on HP, so it's being cautious.
Time dwindling. It's fleeting. The pause to Fallen for a brief second is what allowed the peak to come through without being punished. Now Fnatic, who have got the bomb planted, have fallen back into solid post-plant scenarios, and now Dennis is going to make the long, arduous trek all the way around to connector. So Flusher has to stay alive. The bomb is planted for ramp, of course. And to make matters worse now, SK don't have a smoke. They can't force Flusher to peek other than tapping on the bomb itself. Oh, that's one. Nice shot by Fallen, at the very least, as he takes down Flusher. And I was just starting to believe that maybe Fnatic could have pulled it off, but too fast on the trigger.
Yeah, they certainly made it a little bit too close for comfort for SK. I mean, they got the bomb plant at least, and they got in like decent post plant positioning, but the duel was won by SK. Cold, obviously, taking out Flusher on the ramp. Taco cutting off Dennis from wreaking any havoc from the connector. But now Fnatic back onto a full buy. And here's what I'm talking about. This is the one map where they stray away from default the most. And you can see it. They're lining up an early smoke setup on A. It could be the straight line of smokes through the site, not your typical stairs jungle CT, but the one that lines up right through the middle so they can plant inside of it. But Fallen aggressive on the A ramp could disrupt it. He doesn't, but that counter incendiary, it will slow Fnatic down or force him to take damage.
Fallen has to turn tail and run as there's Molotovs everywhere he seems to run the carpet of fire. Will he feeling victimized at this point? Now Phelps sets up shop on the Molotov, able to get a kill for his troubles, and SK, they find themselves at 4-2 in the lead in terms of manpower. Adding on top of that, the great buffer of rounds that they currently possess. Flusher with 1, 3 more to rinse through. He has seen for peeking him from ramp. Saving grace is the time. Flusher doesn't need to get these kills rapidly. Spotted from Catwalk. Taco just going to be biding his time on the CT boxes, and well, this should be the beginning of the end. Flusher's going to get a bomb plant again, though. SK don't really care about that. But can Flusher get the kill onto Taco? No, he can't. And of course, the reason they don't care is because there's full round loss bonus coming anyway. The additional bomb plant is just negligible. It doesn't really mean anything at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would have been pretty low risk, though, for Taco just to take him out when he knew he was committed. I guess he didn't know for sure. Maybe he thought it was a fake. There was really no one else in position as well to trade off of him, so if he actually went down, then you're just giving Flusher a 1v2 post plant instead. So, in the end, probably a good thought. And now Fnatic, they have to think about things here and see what they want to do, because again, they had that mid control at their disposal with Olaf playing A, Flusher usually B, and then just trying to work guys like JW, Crims, and Dennis to maintain mid control. But then off of it, what can you do? Because lately they haven't really been able to get space after that. Like, they haven't been able to get in window room. They haven't been able to make their way up connector or catwalk. So, you know, you can get that foundation, sure, but eventually you have to launch off of it and get into a site, and they haven't done that. Again, the other big thing they like to do besides the default mid control is some of these smoke wall executes, and you saw them just try to run one, and it didn't work. They got shut down. So most of what they normally run has already been unsuccessful. So I'm wondering, what else do they go to? Do you just go back to your default? You give JW time to work the AWP and hope you can create a bit more space this time around? Or do you go for something faster pace at A again? I mean, that's usually what they do. They have a couple of B apartment setups, but again, typically it's A heavy stuff or mid. And this time it will be a lean towards the A side, a 1-4, just Flusher lurking middle. And JW's already got a pick on Fer getting aggressive in Palace.
Huge on the side of Fnatic. And JW's first kill. He's had a rough start, and he has been one of their standout players this event. Olaf's going to spot Fallen. He doesn't know there's actually a second player in there, which is Phelps. He's getting flashed out of position. Can't see anything now. Smoke's going on the jungle, and Flusher will pick up from where Olaf left off. Taco and coldzera, a formidable duo. There's 5 Fnatic members to face off against. Now they're stacked economically. They can go for this retake. coldzera wants to save the orb, and he's got a full kit of both the weapon and nades. So Fnatic will pick up a second round. The pause has been a success, but they've got to keep it going forward. Is Flusher going to be able to get the drop on coldzera is now the next question. And the answer is no. Solid flick, but he's down to 13. His position is known. I definitely do not envy his position at this stage. 5 seconds left. And he will go down.
And so Fnatic, again, just going for a heavy A setup. The big difference maker here is JW getting that opening pick on Fer's aggression Palace. He knows Fer likes to do that sometimes, so he holds back in Palace and waits for it. And then you see Olaf go to work. Again, he's been big throughout the tournament. He's another guy that could be an MVP candidate Fnatic go through alongside Dennis. Short of that one Mirage troublesome game against Cloud9, he's been great throughout the rest of the tournament. He needs to step that up again here, as they have another opening pick thanks to the nade stack from Dennis and Olaf Meister. That's Phelps down in the window. Op still out from Fallen, and Fur still here in connector to try to help patrol middle. But it's just Fnatic falling back into their default. The difference is Olaf is out in mid. They have JW actually, again, trying to work Palace. Looking for that angle, gonna get chased off by an incendiary though. And they will shift that bomb back over to A. In fact, they're all heading that direction now except for Crim. So again, looking to see if they can make Heavy A work.
Getting the opening pick as they did last round, I should say. It's going to bode well for them. This heavy ordnance, just a barrage of ordnance in window that dispatched to Phelps. First trying to fill in his shoes. JW hasn't really budged an inch for the longest time. He's still looking out here. And with no smokes in his eyes until this point when the set play is starting to come in. May have to look elsewhere. Fallen perched on the CT boxes. Is waiting for a pixel to execute off. And JW could be that man. As the peak comes in, but JW actually drops in. Fallen will be bitterly disappointed he came out second best in that confrontation, and that could be all that Fnatic need. All they require to force their way on the side, but no one is covering Dennis. He got the bomb planted just before he died. I think it was like a matter of a millisecond. So that's one place where Fnatic can count themselves lucky. But it still will make this an even affair. Crims will not miss out on his chance. He does get tagged down to 12, but now it's on coldzera, and he will fall the same way. JW is starting to find that same form that saw him coast through the last two maps.
And again, it's JW, the catalyst for a round for Fnatic. These heavy A setups are going Fnatic's way, and it's really the fact that JW are getting these impact frags like that one. He finishes it off for a couple of more. Has a hat trick of a round, and so there you have it. Fnatic, they're creeping back in. SK are off to a roaring start, but now it's starting to turn into more of a whimper. But they still have a good buy here, and they're going to get aggressive on A ramp now with Taco. And Phelps has that CZ up close as well. It's another heavy A from Fnatic, but SK will be right in their face.
A little bit too deep to bother Phelps, who is going to charge through right now. And Taco and Phelps both claim kills that can now turn their attention into Palace. It's gone horribly wrong. In a matter of 1 second, Fnatic's hopes and dreams of attacking A were dashed. And already, Flush has decided, okay, A hasn't worked, let's try our hand at mid. While he pushes mid, they still have Olaf, who is in Palace. He hasn't given this up just yet, but maybe he should have. Phelps will give him some regrets to take to the grave. Still split up between JW and Flusher. There's the first of what they're hoping is many. Fallen goes out looking for info, and he has gathered some. Now it's all on Flusher's shoulders. That looked on to me. Kind of unfortunate not to get the kill outright, and Phelps will take down Flusher afterwards. Maybe it's a leg shot, didn't quite catch it. Either way, Fnatic have lost the round. They will be able to come straight back with a buy though. Although Dennis is on 3.5k, so he has a decision to make.
Yeah, again, it was just Fnatic trying to look for one of those heavier executes that have been working for them, but the difference was the aggression from SK on the ramp. Crim's catching a kill under the smoke. Able to reposition under balcony and find another as well. So just kind of disrupting Fnatic's process in that round. This means that Fnatic will change it up a little bit, but SK again hunting for early action. Fur gets to trade with Flusha, so it's a 4-on-4 early as Fnatic trying to get that mid control again. They actually have Dennis sitting outside of A, so they're kind of shifting that position a lot. They're not keeping it consistent. I mean, it's usually been Olaf doing this, but they're kind of moving the personnel around a bit. They do have that op on JW. He's trying to find something at middle. No one giving it to him. SK getting aggressive here at B Apartments as well. Bit of a bait setup. You see Taco's in deep. Some gunfire being drawn from Van to try to sell that. That's where the big point of contact was. But Taco, he's got this up close angle. You gotta wonder if that will play into the round at all.
And he's also by himself, so if he is to fall, then B is very much ripe for the taking. Heavy stack on A. Flush is going to go for the peak, and it's a labored confrontation, but Taco will come out ahead. Now the push comes in. Taco deciding to back off towards the slightly spring through the wooden panels, not too far off, and landing some headshots, but Olafmeister's going to give coldzera a haircut. taking it clean off. Taco gets actually a kill on Dennis, who burns through a crisp on the van. Bomb planted in amongst the mayhem. And Olof and JW, two of the better performing members of Fnatic, in a clutch to try and salvage this half. Olof has already got 2 in this round. He'll be hungry for more. And he will land another one. Has time to reload. And now this is very much in the realms of possibility. Olof Meister, can he wind back the years? Yes, he can! And Fnatic are ecstatic about it. A 4th round will go their way. And a 4th kill will go Olof Meister's way. Excellent.
Again, it was those 2 on stage, Olaf and Fallen, and they're the ones that keep delivering these clutches. This time it's Olaf. Things were getting a bit dicey here, as Taco was doing pretty good in the B apartments to save face, but he still fell in the end, and Fnatic have a 4th round, and now they're really closing that gap. It was starting off one-sided here in map 3, but Fnatic are having none of it now, as you see them picking up the pace towards the B side with Flusha, who's really trying to put that pressure on Balcony early. Meanwhile, though, Phelps, he pushes underpass, he takes down Crims. And that's been where SK's been successful, when they've gotten aggressive on Fnatic at middle or on A ramp. And now underpass, also coming through. They have the instant 5-on-4. Olaf is back to his old position at A, trying to find the exchange, but so far... Oh, there you go. Never mind.
Well, I see your smoke, I raise you a headshot. Get off my server.
Did you see me last round? Like,
do you know who I am? Meanwhile, Taco in the B-apps has the best weapon SK currently possess, and he has made it work. JW, one of his kneecaps just got blown off. He's going to be wobbling for the rest of the round.
Interesting to see Taco with it. Normally Cole would be the guy to have the AWP on the B side of the map off Catwalk, but they're going to trust Taco to anchor B with it. It does happen sometimes. It's rare, but it's there. And Olaf, he's looking for more blood here at middle. What's that molly on window? It's going to force no vision.
Furt was always going to be struggling, even if he got the kill. Very unlikely he survives that confrontation. Once again, though, Fallen with the scout. There's always that possibility of greatness. Coldzera knows that Fnatic like to boost into window. Still has half a mind on it. Bomb gets planted. Fallen can't stop that. Brilliant shot onto Dennis, in fairness to Fallen, but it's likely not going to be enough to get them this round. Coldzera up against the inform Olof Meister. 2 of CSGO's best. Oh, and there we have it. JW goes down, but the bomb is planted in a horrific position. Coldzera is hoping for a pixel, and he finds one, but so does Olof. And that's all he requires. Another 4K.
And there you have it, Fnatic. They have now won 4 out of the last 5 rounds to be right in striking distance of SK's lead. And when you start considering the money situation SK are up against, it's looking bright for Fnatic here on home turf, as it'll be Fallen with the MP9. Usually it's Fur that totes that thing around. He's very well known for it, particularly on Mirage, but Fallen will have his crack at it. Cole tried to get aggressive off Catwalk at the Deagle like he did second round, where he had so much success, but Dennis will silence him right away this time around. As they get control of ladder room, start establishing middle, Flusha getting up connector as well. This is looking good for Fnatic.
Leaps and bounds ahead of where they found themselves just a few minutes prior at 6-1 down. MP9, the only weapon they can hope to use. That's all that remains. Fallen is going to put it to use on Crims. Trades out to the UMP, not a massive upgrade. And JW won't allow him to keep it anyway. We are all even in the third, well, just off even, I should say, 7-6 in the third map of the grand finals. Neck and neck.
You couldn't ask for better, could you, for a grand final that goes all 3 maps, and the third map being so close, such a slugfest, again, between 2 different dynasties, right? Fnatic had their dynasty all through a lot of 2015 and into even early 2016, and even before that, to some degree. SK kind of picked up after that with their major wins in 2016, and now we're here, and Fnatic, they're going to go for one of those heavy smoke setups we were talking about on the A-bomb side again. They've had success with it, but can Phelps disrupt?
Flusha has been told, go ham. He has the bomb, though. It's not a great position to drop it in, and Phelps is going to punish not just him, but also Dennis. Crims will not allow him to get a triple. And although Fnatic have got themselves a kill back, the bomb is still in such a sketchy position. The arduous task of picking it up, the trek towards A begins now, and Crims is going to be the point man. Fallen again, scout in hand. Landed a kill from here in the last round, or the one before, I should say. And bullets whizzing past Crims.
It's like he tried to go grab that bomb, but he couldn't find it, and so they're still down a man. The bomb's still down in such dangerous territory, but Olaf is back, and oh my goodness. He's gonna knife him, obviously. It has to be, right? Nope, because JW turns around, but Taco gets the kill nonetheless.
I think he wanted to knife, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's safe to say. Crims missing out on his opportunity there to dispatch of Foot, but Olaf will pick up the pieces. They still don't have the bomb. If they did, they'd love to trek straight through window towards B. What a nightmare that bomb drop has ended up being. It's just completely shifted the dynamic of this round. Coldzera gets flashed, but still lands the kill. And now it's up to Olaf, with 15 seconds to carve a masterpiece of a clutch. Time against him. He's outnumbered. And in credit to SK, they've played this flawlessly. They are not allowing him to get anything done. Nice shot through the boxes, Olaf, but it doesn't matter. You've still lost the round. 8-6. But the AWP will keep going through. That'll be a pretty decent buy going through into the last round. Both teams' economy has been battered for this final round, actually.
Indeed it has. It really comes down to these kills from Phelps. That smoke setup can really isolate Phelps because there's no assistance coming from jungle or stairs, yet he mans up and finds 2 frag, which is pretty good given the situation. And then where the bomb dropped, that was obviously devastating for Fnatic. It played a role throughout the rest of the round. They never were able to really get to it. And so SK, they make it 8-6. Last round of the half, it could be the closest score possible, or SK might get that slight little edge. Going into the next half, as again, they have Olaf with the op in middle. Usually it's JW doing it a lot on this particular map. I know Olaf likes to do it on Inferno because JW plays apps, but JW has really been the primary op lately for Fnatic, but he hasn't really seen it so much. Again, though, this team has always been known to kind of be musical chairs with the op at times, and they're going to try something different. They've really never done a heavy performance push like this. Turning a new page.
Coldzera hears the pitter-patter of footsteps above him, and he knows it's time to go to work. JW puts him off sick. Taco, headshots being delivered first class. There's just a swarm of terrorists to greet him, and Fallen's Mag 7 has so much work ahead of it. Just going to switch to the USP for range. Call may have came through a couple players alone, not necessarily important. 8-7 continues to be an incredibly tense, close grand finals.
Oh, you gotta love it. You're in map 3 and you have an 8-7 half. Couldn't get any closer than that. Again, it's just Fnatic throwing out something a bit new. They haven't done this all game. They go for a heavy B apartments flood and they just overwhelm SK on the site. And they make the margin as close as it gets. 8-7 as we roll into the second half. Who will get that pistol? Who will get that slight edge? That's going to be the question to answer next. It's either Fnatic tying it right up or SK pulling out just a bit more in front. As again, SK 10-2 offline on Mirage. Outside of losing to CLG in the semifinals and one other occurrence, they have been dominant with this 5 on this map. Fnatic, though, obviously the core of this team, no strangers to Mirage, and they've done well to keep this close.
No strangers to close finals, no strangers to being in this position over and over again. It's been a while, though. I'm sure that feeling doesn't wear off. Plenty of veterans on both teams. Some of the world's finest and brightest. And it all comes down to this. Second half gets underway, and SK showing they want to get hot and heavy. 2 Molotovs have been selected. One of which is going to greet JW, forces him out. Dennis gets smoked just in the perfect time. Phelps is going to take some damage, but he wants to land headshots, and he's got 1 already. Gonna spin around, he's actually going to get 2 from that position. That is absolutely crazy. Fnatic have lost 2 players that definitely should have got an avenging frag, and Phelps isn't done just yet. Doesn't even have to go peeking for this. If he just stays in window, that in amongst itself is going to be worth so much for the T's. Olof trying to connect some headshots, trying to claw Fnatic back into this round, but he's actually going to concede one of his own. 2 health now. Flusher takes out Phelps. But there comes Fur with 2 of his own, picking up the slack from Phelps. And Olof Meister, not long for this world. SK have picked up the second pistol. And that's going to do the world of good to their hopes of winning this event.
Absolutely. Phelps just making plays happen. Just remember this, Phelps and Window Room, they go together. Ever since he's been on SK, he's been wreaking havoc in this area of the map on the T side. That's been one of the big things he's added to their mid control, even on gun rounds, is that tag team combo of Phelps and Fur, and how they're able to work together to make things scary for their opponents in Connector and Window Room. And this time Fur coming through underpass, takes out Dennis. Fnatic trying to be aggressive with this force buy of pistols, but so far, there's been no success on there, and it's been all SK as Fur continues to rack up cash with the map 10. It's already paid for itself and more at this point.
I don't want to put any negative vibes out there for Fnatic fans, but keep in mind that Overpass ended 8-7 after the first half. And then SK Gaming just turned it up a few notches. Let's hope there's not a repeat performance here.
That's the thing, like, Fnatic are going to be struggling because SK's playbook is so deep on Mirage. Fnatic's nowhere near that as far as what SK can come up with and how crafty they can be. We'll get to that later if need be, as right now we're in a 2-on-3 where Olof, he has a little bit of a chance here. Got the Galil in armor.
There is a glimmer of hope, albeit low. Very small. Some damage inflicted to coldzera, who's going to move slightly. Still using that bench as a shield. Olof's down and out alongside Crims. SK pick up a 3-round lead. It will be an eco.
Yeah, the force doesn't work, so Fnatic will have to tap out here on a USP buy. One flash does come out on Olof. That's going to be about it. This is normally where you expect some type of gimmicky stack or push or something like that. It's your best chance to make anything happen in a round like this, and they will pop flash out Connector and try to fight in mid.
Totally on board with this play. It's not going to work. Mosquitoes into a windshield. And Taco is driving that truck over within a matter of seconds. Throwaway round. This is really what they were looking for. It's not going to include an AWP. It's going to be M4s and a couple UMPs, perhaps, for extra utility, one of which is picked up by Flusher. JW fills out with an M4 of his own. So plenty of rifles. They do have a kit. Enough nades to make a go of this, but if Fnatic were to lose this round, SK are in such good shape.
Yeah, SK will stray away from their foundation immediately. No default here. They're looking for something fast mid and B. They have 2 pushed up apartments. That's just going to be Taco now. Normally the A-Lurk, he'll be playing the apps. They have the underpass push coming, and they really want to put heavy numbers in mid and make sure they get control of it. Fur and Phelps, the normal catalyst for trying to make that happen. Again, you got to worry about window room boost if you're Fnatic, as Phelps loves to be up there, and SK love to put him in that position. Here he goes. Look at him.
JW knows, though, he is in the perfect position to thwart that attempt. Taco in hot pursuit of some B control. He will find himself Olofmeister on the truck if he decides to proceed and doesn't heed the warning of footsteps. And it's one of the easiest kills he'll get all day. The coldzera comes back with 2. You've got to respect him in these scenarios.
You've also got to respect Fnatic's flashbangs. Yep. They are so good. Like, throughout this tournament, there's been highlight clips you can find out there where they just perfectly pop flash each other into positions like that. It's just part of that chemistry they have, how they play off of one another. No NA flashes found here on Fnatic. As they make sure Cold has no chance at clutching there, and you can't blame him. You don't want to give that guy any space. So now we're at 11-8. What does SK want to do here? Looks like they're going to go default, but they do have the AA here. coldzera is going to be assisting this side. They're coming underpass pretty quick, so it seems like an A split is what they're thinking, as I assume Fallen was just looking for a pick. He'll now grab the bomb, probably swing T-spawn, and they're going to look to try to do the mid split. He'll actually assist that middle.
So mid-control seems to be the prevalent tactic. SK going to be looking to try and jump up for peering into the window. Flush is using that smoke to his advantage, seeing if a boost is imminent. Finds out it's not. Much more split up this time around for SK though. Ramp, Palace, mid. Plenty of time to play with. Fnatic not really moving a great deal.
You gotta worry about this 1-2 punch of Phelps and Fur. They're so deadly, particularly at connector. So Flusha, he'll have a lot of responsibility here, but I'm sure he's up to the task, as Fnatic have been hot all day long. And here comes that A split. Karim's also in a position that can really be the thorn in SK's side if it goes unchecked.
We definitely think that SK will at least put one player looking up there. Flush has been flashed out of position. Crims is able to tee off with one. But the counter kill comes in almost instantly. JW flashed out, not going to be able to stop the bomb plant. So retake on the cards. One kit, one flash. 3 assault rifles. Olof did just see a player jump across. coldzera's going to land a headshot, but so will Olof. Taco with another one. Olof going to be using his flash to try and get some ground up on the stairs to relocate. See if he can't carve one of these heads away. He has the right idea too. You can't fault anything he's done so far, it's just that SK aren't giving him anything. They're not allowing him to get any of these kills. And Taco takes him down. Very well played on the retake there by SK. Can't really fault Olofmeister, but SK didn't give him a chance.
Yeah, they know that Olof's been known to get a clutch or two throughout this event, so denying him opportunities by playing conservative, and it'll net them a 12th round and put Fnatic on a save situation, giving SK that chance to extend the lead a bit more before Fnatic can pose another threat. They will open up as default as it gets for SK. Taco out alone, A solo. The rest looking to get that mid control. No real challenge from Fnatic, though. They are stacking towards the A side and window.
So just taking a bit of chip. Will go down to the hands of Flusha. It's only a Mach 10 though. The expendable weapon has fallen. Now coldzera is able to clean up the rest alongside the man himself with a Tech 9. Elsewhere, Olof tries to push around the back and he's going to meet his demise to the hands of Taco. And this round going as expected. Fnatic will be trailing by 5 rounds. Not in great shape.
And so this round is going to go by the wayside. It was kind of a formality, to be fair. Fnatic couldn't really do much in this, but stack and hope for the best. Krim's trying to see if he can't get a little bit of exit action out of all this. Flusha will be alone at B, though, and there's no hope for him with the HP he's got to work with, and so that will be that 13th round coming over for the Brazilians. Again, they've never beat Fnatic in a best-of-3, and certainly not at a stage like this one to get a title. And so they're trying to break that curse, and they're well on their way, just 3 rounds from shutting Fnatic out on home soil. Fnatic hoping they can gather their form because they haven't had a trophy in a while. And it would only be fitting to do it here at DreamHack Summer. But they're running out of opportunities. They're only going to have a couple of rounds left of buys to fight back.
coldzera will be serving Flusha his final meal in kitchen, and now the timeout has been called. Fnatic, their funds don't look too great. Dennis is on 3.4k, JW's on 3.6. They're going to be able to get an AWP. They are going to force into this. Oh, great, and yeah, they had actually already called their timeout, so they tried it, didn't work. Get denied.
And again, SK, though, always changing the pace, always keeping Fnatic guessing, never settling into a familiar pattern. They're going to be shifting again towards B1-4. Olofmeister misses his shot at middle on Phelps, who's lurking around, but the real action is over here towards B. But oh, JW with the Mach 7 up close. Is he going to spoil it?
He is one of the world's best with this weapon. If there's someone you want here, it's him. There's the first, not a second. Too fast with his AK. Phelps has already got himself round the back, and Dennis is going to have no idea what's coming up against him. But then Olofmeister, very much the same. He's just hiding, and he wasn't far off that shot in midair. It looked like his crosshair landed. But instead it's Crims. And this is desperate times for Fnatic. They need Crims to come out clutch. If not, they're going to have low economy. They're going to be 6 rounds behind. And SK will be on the brink of winning this grand finals. He's got a nade. He may very well be able to pick up some more utility on the approach, but his position is now compromised. He knows where the last 2 players are. But that's really only half the struggle. And again, SK are playing this 1-2 perfection. They are wasting valuable time. Crims simply can't get it done. It must be so frustrating, not just for him, but for Fnatic. SK now are so close they can taste it.
SK has just been so disciplined when they've been up against a guy trying the clutch. Just great work from SK. This is just disgusting, though. That's not even really fair, is it? You do something like that. Just one of those random things that happen to go through for you. Also, props to Phelps, though. He ninja'd his way up through Catwalk and got a key entry on the site as well. He helped break that open, so you got to give him his props. That new aggressive force for SK certainly pitched in that round, and now they're just a couple away from securing things here in Sweden. So we'll see Fnatic, like you noted, not with much to work with. SK again knocking on the door of mid-control, and they have it. Taco's already backed off the A side, though, so kind of curious to see what they're looking for. I guess he's just coming to throw a smoke for them. He may go back to A after that.
As bare bones as it gets, Fnatic hanging by a thread. And to make matters worse, Olof, their talisman, their linchpin, is dead. Flusher shooting almost a perfect circle around Fer in the smoke. Won't be able to pick him off once he pushes through, but Dennis, Mag 7, will come good for at least 1. JW gets completely destroyed by Cold Zera. Fallen picked off on the cross, but the B site is theirs. Oh, and Phelps has every opportunity now to just line them up from mid. There's one, and a second. Fnatic, they're on shaky ground. 1 round away from losing.
The buy is not really that much better in this round, is it? They do have the M4 out on the Dennis, and he's been a monster. JW on the scout certainly can do something, but it is slim pickings for Fnatic. They're running out of time to come back here. They'd have to force an OT at this point, which would be great to watch, sure, but chances are minimal. Fnatic trying to force the issue, getting aggressive on middle, but are forced to backtrack after not finding what they were looking for. It is once again double A set up for Fnatic, or excuse me, SK, so again, I would expect some type of connector split here as Fer comes up underpass. They want to get that 1-2 punch of Phelps and Fer up that way and try to split this A bomb site. With Taco and Cold waiting with open arms at A. The aggression, though, will come out. That'll even help SK out more. Already a 5-on-4.
They may not expect a second player to traipse into ramp. That's going to be Crims, and he's holding the close angle. Fer is going to get the drop onto Jade. In fact, it's Dennis. JW's moved out of position, and he's going to get the shank. You knew it was coming eventually. There's been a number of opportunities, and now Fer's going to get himself a second. Flash into the eyes of JW, and a third, and they're finishing this one in style. Olofmeister, where's the Mag 7? Going to be able to trade to the M4. This would be one of the best clutches of his career if he pulled this off. To make matters worse, he's on a carpet of fire. Through the CT side, he will move. He's going to have to channel every bit of that talent, every bit of that skill to clutch this round. There's the first. Position now is known. All 3 players will have their sights trained on his location. And there we have it. First picks up the final kill. And SK finally break the curse. They take down Fnatic in a best of 3. And they are DreamHack Summer 2017 champions.
what a moment. Everybody, please put your hands together one time for our DreamHack ASTRO Open Summer Champions of 2017, SK Gaming. Gabriel, what's going through your mind right now? Just as Metis said, the curse has been lifted.
Amazing feeling. It was an honor to play against Fnatic. They're one of the best teams in the world always. You guys were amazing, the crowd, and we did a great job. I think Fnatic pushed us to the limit, but we managed to win, and I'm very happy for it.
Could this be the start of another dominating period for you and your team? What's the plan from here?
Being honest, I think it's better to don't think too much about it. It's just about working hard on a daily basis, giving everything you can to improve on practice, playing serious, respecting your opponents, and also giving the best. I mean, it doesn't matter if you lose or win. For me, it's all about giving the best. Do your best, and if it works or not, it's up to what's happening.
It's time to give you and your team their moment, but I would like to leave, as always, any final words with you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for cheering. Thanks, Fnatic, for the show. Thanks for all my teammates. They played amazingly. Thanks, Ricardo and Camila, who were in house. They're always supporting us. Thanks for SK Gaming. Pra galera do Brasil, não desacredite nunca. Brasil acima de tudo. Tamo junto.
And there we go. One final time, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together. They deserve it like no other. SK Gaming, your champions today. Let's head back to Alex and the guys on the Corsair analyst desk for one final time.
They've done it. SK lift the curse, lift the trophy, and start their journey with a bang. They're in Europe now for over a month. Tournaments galore, but they start with a trophy here in Jönköping. DreamHack Summer, the DreamHack ASTRO Open. 100,000 was what they battled for, but also a whole lot more. Photos to be taken and pride gained as they are going to look to pick up momentum full steam ahead for a chaotic month of Counter-Strike. Joining me on the desk, we do have Vendetta and Pimp. Gentlemen, what a show. A full 3 every game of the day.
Yeah, no, it's a wonderful way to play out the final brackets. Obviously, we saw, got to see the best of both sides, really, or best from both worlds for both teams. We saw a really, really, really good Fnatic on Overpass. Weren't quite able to deliver the same kind of CT Cyberstar versus Immortals in the second half, but you got to give credit where credit is due. SK were the better team overall today.
Fallen says they pushed us to our limit, and was there evidence of that from you, Jacob?
Definitely, especially on the second map. There was not a. SK was not pushed to the limit, they were pushed over the limit, Fnatic was really playing well, and it showed glimpses of the Fnatic that we might see in the future, Same goes for SK. Overall, a great tournament for them. Did show a little bit of shaky area in some grounds, their map pool is not as strong as it used to be, but as you said, they're here for 45 days and they're here to prepare for the major, and what a way to start that journey, right?
Outstanding stuff. SK, a team you really cannot write out. Doesn't matter what happens, what roster change, what results. Every tournament, a team to be feared, and this one no exception. Jönköping, I'm sure the crowd, though maybe disappointed to see the defeat tag attached to the Fnatic logo, they can appreciate good Counter-Strike, and they were making plenty of noise for everything that was transpiring, especially on that final map, Mirage. It got, we had the teams winning individual maps by quite the large margin, then you get that close one just to wrap it all up, put a bow on it, and put it under the tree for Christmas in June.
Christmas comes early this year.
Yeah, I'm a practicing June Christmas. It's a very small religion. That's how I roll.
Sign up.
One sign up.
I mean, anyone want to join me? Have Christmas in June? Let me know. Hashtag DHOpen. That's how we've been rocking it. And if you enjoyed that as much as, well, evidently SK, the crowd, and us there at the panel, one final goodbye on that would be wonderful. Fallen, though, the man who has been gracious in both victory and defeat. You can see him on your screens. He's got a fantastic set of 4 players around him, Halvor, and what a kind of tournament journey that was after especially conceding that first game.
It definitely was, and I mean, it seems like it's a trend for SK, start off kind of poorly at DreamHack and then come firing at all cylinders towards the end there. And again, it's really cool to see, the players individually are able to bounce back from having early or bad starts really to maps. You saw it again with Phelps, had a wonderful Mirage to close it all out. Massive part of why they found so much success as they did once they swapped halves.
Yeah.
And, that came off of him having, again, a very slow start to the entire series. So it just kind of shows that there's no quit in this SK side.
And on the topic of the man on our left side of the screen is Phelps. I saw a fantastic tweet actually coming out from Optics Mixwell saying, I play that window position on CT side, and Phelps is so annoying. You've used the annoying word to describe players, but it's interesting to hear others bringing it up as well. Phelps, annoying, especially on that T side.
And speaking of, what a pistol round from SK.
Right?
Double mollies to clear out pretty much the entire angle, and actually having it planned out for Phelps to jump through the fire and flames.
He lands on the edge as well, just a lip.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that he just gets an additional kill after finding that first opening and window, absolutely nuts. And when you see those kind of starts, you're kind of feeling like, yeah, SK, yeah, no, they might have Lady Luck on their side. But it's just incredible display from them.
Yeah, it takes more than luck. And while we are giving the shout-outs for that final round, were you watching that, Jacob? It just seemed like he wanted that game to end.
He wanted to end it in style, you know, and you can't blame him. You can't blame him. You can't blame him. Especially against Fnatic, you know, they like to do the same. They like to have fun in games, you know, so give them back a little. That's fun. I'm sure they can appreciate it as well. So it's all good.
Yeah, you stand on my head and shoot me, Flasher.
Here's a knife in the back.
Here's a knife in the back in the final round of play. Another one for the trophy cabinet. If you haven't seen it, SK do have a mantelpiece now.
I think they might need an expansion on that.
They're going to have to like call up the landlord and say we need a bigger mantelpiece.
I've been to the house in LA, you know, and that's stacked with trophies. That's insane.
It really is. There's the beautiful IEM, you've got the plate, the ESL1 cologne, you've got it all. And now they add another one to it, the beautiful DreamHack ASTRO Open Trophy. Big win for SK, and on the other side of the stage, Fnatic, they said, yes, there is a lot on the line. Yes, it's been over a year since we got to lift that trophy, but baby steps.
Getting to the final is not bad at all.
And getting to the final, playing against an SK who are on form, this is going to be good.
Yeah. And as well, taking SK to a third map, you know, that's not bad from Fnatic, and we've talked about it lots of time during this task.
Please, yeah.
Fnatic, they're on a grind right now. They're on a rise, you know, of form from the ashes, you could say. Like right now, they're ranked 11th in the world, you know. And that's not where you put Fnatic when you think about Fnatic, you know. So they're gonna go up there, and this was a great start for them as well. Obviously, they're gonna grind towards the major qualifier,
exactly,
the major as well, because they're qualified. So it's gonna be great to have all those great teams in form, you know, and tournaments like these, DreamHacks and like the lesser important tournaments, you'd say, like they're always great to see where teams stand and see new tendencies. You saw the new gun round, pistol round from SK there, you know. That's something we're going to see at the major as well from some other team, because we do copy from each other as well, you know. So that's just fun.
Creativity is dead.
I think fun has been this weekend, just hanging out, getting to see, you know, the two ends of the Counter-Strike spectrum. You've got the 14, 15-year-old kid in his sleeping bag playing some matchmaking, and then 100 meters away you have the world's best duking it out. That is DreamHack Summer. That is what it's all about. And now we do say our goodbyes. Jacob, pleasure to. This is our first time working together. You're a bit of a beast in and out of game.
It's been okay. It's our first time together. Yeah, I had lots of fun. It's my second time doing this, and while not playing, it's a fun way to keep myself busy, you know. And I like it. So
yeah, still talking about Counter-Strike, whether or not you're playing it doesn't matter. It was a good load of fun. Yeah,
still got that.
It's okay.
We've definitely upset Pimp with our green room antics for sure. Halvor's used to it by now. He's comfortably numb.
I'm joining in on the songs by this point.
Yes, we did sing some JoJo.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
Don't do it again.
I'm not going to do it again. Anyway, spitting bars and fun and antics aside, more fun for you can be found outside of this event. There are 9 open stops. That's right, there's 9 of these. This story 9 times, copy and paste it. It's all coming your way and you can actually be part of it. Do be sure to check it out, as there's so many. In fact, I had to write them down. Let me make sure I get this right. Valencia, check out the sun in Spain. You've got Atlanta, Montreal, Denver, Winter. Get some poutine. Get some poutine in Montreal. It was all right. I didn't like it. It wasn't great. But there is
You're really selling
if you don't like poutine, there's Counter-Strike. That's what's happening. You can see where to go. Atlanta is your next stop on this tour around the globe with DreamHack. It's been a pleasure here in Jönköping. It's always going to be wild, and it's certainly no exception this year. For now, though, one final reminder of our sponsors. We wouldn't be here at this time talking about games if it wasn't for some of them. Monster Energy, of course. Big thank you to them. Corsair, Astro, Intel. I nearly got them all. Zowie, there they are. And one final thank you to the app that keeps on giving. Strafe on your Palm device, iOS and Google Play, keeps you up to date with all of the antics of this event. Who's playing well? Check it out and keep an eye on the stats as well as what they're up to when they're live and what's going down. It's been fun. I'm running out of air in my lungs, so we should probably say goodbye. I did all of that without taking a breath. That was quite impressive. I didn't realize how long I was going to be speaking.
You've been doing that a lot today.
Yeah. Get some sleep. Drink some Monster Energy.
There we go.
I need to get paid for these plaques at some point. Oh, it's been fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I can tell that you guys had as much fun as we did, so let's just say our goodbyes with nothing more. We're going to go party. You should too, and we'll see you next time over in Atlanta.